Gregorio.net's INQuest Vote 2013. With less than a month to go before the May 13 elections, candidates in the senatorial and local levels are gearing up for one final push. INQuest Vote 2013 will feature a series of interviews with senatorial candidates, but this time with a twist. Instead of the usual political issues, INQuest will take on the lighter side of things. For our guest today, we have reelectionist Senator Gregorio Gringo Honasan.
How often do you bond with your family, particularly considering the busy schedule that the legislator has?
I try to have family dinners every Sunday. That sort of allows me to, that's also my act of contrition for the lack of quality time. I think I continue to be an absentee father, husband, and now grandfather, no? Because the demands of being a senator are really so much. No? So every Sunday, when time and circumstances permit, we try to have family dinners. Of course, in between, I try to spend quality time, no? Which means that every second counts. That's why, I don't know if it's on a more serious note, when I'm asked what my greatest achievement is, it's my family. My children are not, well, even by my standards, are not exceptional in terms of specific gifts or talents, no? But I believe that they are good children. No deep-seated angers or hatreds, no? It's a miracle that they have adopted this kind of temperament after everything I have inflicted on them. That is why none of them, by my influence and my wife's influence, have gone into politics or rebellion or a military career.
Oh, really?
Yes, but by strict policy, especially from my wife. Because my wife thinks that if I allow any of them to become soldiers or rebels or politicians, they will follow the same career pattern. In and out of jail, underground for 7 years. So that has created a dramatic effect.
So you mentioned your wife about her making decisions, some decisions in the family. Would you call her commander? Or higher rank when it comes to the home?
You know, Matikas, my family is a very matriarchal family. You know, I have had to go through the agony of sitting in breakfasts with my wife, my mother, who at 88 still has the same strength of character. No? My sister, of course, Alja, and a 5-year-old grandchild. Combined, I cannot even say anything. I have to listen.
Do you consult them in let's say in planning or filing a bill or in considering a bill that you want to file?
Yes.
On matters of national security, for instance?
No, I get their inputs, but their inputs are not the governing influence. I have to address a broader base of information, but basically it's reposed in the intended beneficiaries.
Your perception is basically more of a stoic, hard-nosed politician, you know, reared with the military training.
That's the image, ano?
But, you know, sir, I mean, you make us laugh now, but what makes you laugh?
When I laugh at myself. Because according to experts, you know, comedians, humorists I have read and interacted with, the test of a first-rate sense of humor is the ability to laugh at yourself. So I laugh at myself. I laugh when my children and grandchildren make fun of me. My wife is my worst critic. She would tell me immediately what I did wrong or right. And most often she tells me what I did wrong. And this makes me laugh.
But the times
yeah.
when you were a soldier, you
Yes.
thought about going really into the government instead of.
At first, I wanted to become a priest.
Really?
So you will probably be talking to Monsignor Honasan now, pro-life
Or
advocate.
cardinal.
And then
Or
I wanted
cardinal.
to become a doctor, but my father said he was a soldier.
Mm.
By the way, I can relate to what I've been mentioning because I'm the grandson of a fisherman
Mhm.
and the son of a soldier. I understand how it is to be deprived of food,
Mhm.
clothing and shelter. Our family was probably lower middle class, but most of the time
Mhm.
I was with my grandparents. No? I've always had this, I think, inside me,
Mhm.
for better or for worse. I'm too consistent or too unpredictable to be a serious contender in our politics.
Yeah.
But I guess that is also my strength because, modesty aside, I think, I am told, and the records will bear me out, that I'm the first truly independent senator in Philippine political history to win in national elections.
You have a finger missing. What happened to that?
Well, first, Matikas, this allows me a 10% discount if I am to have a manicure. I'm one of the few who can say, give me 4 instead of give me 5. But I'm glad you mentioned that, no? And I have no, I mean, it's a public knowledge anyway.
It's a bullet wound.
No, my finger was severed when I was evading capture by law enforcement agencies about more than 10 years ago.
Yeah.
But I retrieved my wedding ring
Mhm.
and I retrieved the finger, which is now
Oh,
preserved by a friend whose name I will not mention because he passed away recently. He owns a 20-bed hospital.
Mhm.
No? And they could not apply anesthesia
Mhm.
because there was hot pursuit. I would be groggy. No? But I'm glad you mentioned that because this to me, it reminds me of the struggles I have gone through.
Mhm.
No? This was not run over by a tricycle,
Oh.
definitely. No? This was born out of struggle. No? This is part of the scars of battle, so to speak. This reminds me of what I tried to do in the line of duty.
Do you have guns?
Yes.
You still.
Yeah, but I don't carry them anymore because even for personal security, Matikas, no? Our best weapon, I've been in the security profession for a long time. Your best weapon is really anonymity.
Mhm.
When your bodyguards draw their firearms, if you have bodyguards, and many of our politicians do, it means your system has failed.
Mhm.
You failed to assess the situation, you have established a pattern. And against a determined enemy, and history of other countries and other VIPs in other countries have shown us that against a determined enemy,
There's a
even the US President or the Pope are not safe.
So do you still do this security?
No, not anymore.
What would you do if you don't have a gun? Do you have
I'd
martial
probably,
arts?
no, I'd probably run away. No, kidding. Because prudence is better than valor sometimes. You know? It's not what you see in the movies. Yeah, I'd probably run away. Association with Senate President Enrile is, I think, taken in a different light. No?
Mhm.
He belongs to the puwersa ng masang Pilipino, and I am an independent. Whenever he was incarcerated, I was underground. When I was in jail, he was out there. So, but he's like a father to me.
Mhm.
No, I've never had a chance to be told by him that this is the way we should vote on certain issues.
Do you consider him, Senator, as your role model or someone whom you can actually look up to when you're actually visualizing what you can or what you want to do for the country?
Let me put it this way, Abel. No? He's a major influence in my life. When my father passed away almost 20 years ago, I guess he filled that vacuum. I needed somebody to ask, to look up to. Of course, I say this publicly, he's not very easy to love. No? But once you get to know him better, as I have known him for half of my life, up to now, I'm willing to stop a bullet for him. Now, if that is a fault, then I accept responsibility for that. But how many relationships even marriages have lasted that long. No? So if it's a fault, then so be it. No?
What's the best advice he has given you, or what's the most important time in your life when he helped you?
Well, he always told me, stay the course.
Mm-hmm.
It will not always be a popular course. Think of country first. Even if a hairline separates country and your personal objectives, it must always be country first.
Mm-hmm.
God and religion are very personal. You do not need an intermediary or a fixer to communicate with God. So that has been serious advice that he gave me, and I have adhered to that. I'm not perfect. I have done many things in my life that merit commentaries, good and bad, but lack of consistency is not one of them. And consistency is something I learned from Senate President Enrile. Do whatever it takes. You will be swimming against the current, but you will know deep in your heart when it's the right thing to do. That's why Senate President Enrile and I have shared something that no one can take away from us. Life and death situations. Because, especially during a campaign period, talk is cheap. I mean, you get a good speechwriter, you come up with beautiful press releases and speeches, no? But in my case, as probably in the case of Senate President Enrile, we risk our lives. I risk my life, my family, my honor over and over again. And I have the bullet wounds in my body and in my heart and in my mind to show for it.
Just wanted to give a situation. You are with your buddies, some from the Senate, probably some from the House of Representatives, in a private club. Without you knowing it, they had arranged something special. And, well, after a few minutes, here comes a lovely lady, half naked. And then they all said, surprise! And then they all leave you alone there with the woman. What would you do, sir?
Ako, I would probably think of my wife, whom bar none, even at this senior age, no, is still the sexiest, loveliest, most beautiful woman I have known. Of course, it would be very tempting if I allow my mind and my heart to relocate below the belt, where all there is a muscle without ears, without eyes, that is activated by an extra supply of blood. It would be a difficult choice. But I think, Abel, now, we're talking about a situation now.
Yes.
I would probably resist the temptation and find out how a young lady as pretty as she is would be in this situation. I'm not saying this for pogi points or for a probable press release. No, I'm just saying this because after everything I've gone through, I've settled down on what is most important in my life, and that includes my wife and my children. And there is no force, sexy or otherwise, that will allow me to divert from what I have settled down on.